angel hair and ice cream castles in the air and feather canyons everywhere. I've looked at clouds that way, but now they only block the sun. They rain and snow on everyone. So many things I would have done, but clouds got in my way. I've looked at clouds from both sides now, from up and down, and still somehow it's cloud illusions I recall. I really don't know clouds at all. Moons and Junes and Ferris wheels, the dizzy dancing way you feel as every fairy tale comes real. I've looked at love that way, but now it's just another show. You leave 'em laughing when you go, and if you care, don't let them know. Don't give yourself away. I've looked at love from both sides now, from give and take, and still somehow it's love's illusions I recall. I really don't know love at all.
Why didn't you tell me before?
I would have told you, but I didn't know how to contact him. I never did. It was a 2-week thing. When you told me you were doing a DNA test, I knew you'd find out. So I wanted to tell you before you found out on your own. We didn't want to hurt you.
Do you even know his name?
I believe it was Rimfire.
That's it. Rimfire.
Oh my God, Mom! His name! His real name!
Oh, it might have been Philip or Peter. I know it began with a P, but everyone just called
Oh, no,
him.
no, no, please, no, no. Please don't say that again. And don't tell me why they called him that. I don't get it. How could you?
It was the 80s.
And I had to get the hippie parents?
We're sorry, love. Better luck next time.
The ancestry DNA results you've been waiting for are here.
You are about to discover your ethnicity estimate. Get a unique look at your family's journey through generations.
And maybe even connect with long-lost relatives.
We're so excited for you.
Explore your DNA results here. I'm actually nervous.
This is going to be so
I
interesting.
can barely breathe. I mean,
Oh, I hope I'm matching all my dad's relatives. I've only ever met 2 cousins, and that was by accident.
I know very little about either side. I'm very curious.
finally, I'm going to know the truth. German. Do they even know he's German?
Whoa, this can't be right. 38% Swedish. I'm not Swedish.
No,
German? Do they even know he's German?
Well, this can't be right. 38% Swedish. Not Swedish.
No way.
No.
This can't be right.
I knew it.
Shit.
No shit.
Oh, shit.
Fuck.
Fuck me.
No fucking way.
I think I always knew.
What do we do now?
I had no idea. Swedish. Damn, I always thought I believed I was half Italian. The man I loved, the man I knew as my biological father was called Anthony. Not Lars or Anders. I grew up in my nonna's kitchen. Buttana, rituleti, polenta, spaghetti carbonara. That was who I thought I was. 0% Italian. Please don't say that I'm the same person I was before I did discovery. I know I am, but then again, I'm not. Identity. You know, when one country wages war on another country, the first thing they try to erase is their culture. Do you know why? Because it is the very essence of who we are. I mean, we identify ourselves through art, values, religion, language, food. Those things are culture. Do you know what I know about the Swedish? IKEA, Volvo, ABBA. I hate ABBA. The Nobel Prize in Stockholm. Oh, and they celebrate midsummer with boiled potatoes.
is not my biological father, but some guy in a hick town in Arkansas, in the States, an American, is my biological father. I mean, I'm not angry. Disappointed. I mean, at least I knew it was coming. How are you guys all feeling about this?
Ah, fuck. And then, I don't know, that actually makes a lot of sense.
Deep down I knew. I mean, I never really felt I belonged. I always felt, disconnected.
I didn't imagine one person on my supposed dad's side, including a cousin that had already done the test. No match. Now I have to figure out who my real father is. Oh, BF. What? BF. biological father. Then there's BCF, which is the man that raised you, stands for birth certificate father. And then there is NPE, which stands for not parent expected, which basically translates into who's your daddy now? There's a document you can access on the group files. It just helps you to keep track of what everybody's saying.
Yeah, I'll do that. I have been lied to every single day of my life.
I need answers.
Knowing my mum, I'm kind of afraid to pursue this thing.
My mum's been long gone. The guy I believed to be my father was expunged from my life when I was a kid by my mother. No siblings. I have no one to talk to about this.
You have all of us. Heart emoji.
I believe it's time I had a little chat with my Aunt Phoebe.
Well, must be important if you've come all the way here. And it isn't even a bank holiday.
It is.
Well, something important or a bank holiday.
Something important.
Oh, well, spit it out then. I don't have much time.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you need to be somewhere?
No, I'm 84.
You know, it amazes me that you and Mum grew up in the same house. Now, she was always so serious, and you were all...
A little kooky.
Yeah, quirky.
Much better. Well, your mum had a much harder life. She wasn't always so serious. When she was a teenager, she was a free spirit. Daring, spontaneous. I followed that girl into a lot of trouble. But that was before...
Before
Nothing.
Aunt Phoebe, do you remember me telling you that I was going to do a DNA test?
Do you remember me telling you it was a very bad idea?
Why did no one tell me that my dad was not my biological father?
Well, that's a very complicated question.
Well, I'm okay with the complicated answer.
Your mother made me promise not to tell you, ever.
Mom died before you could send £79 away and learn your family history, or connect with relatives, or even find your biological father.
You found him.
Well, not him. His obituary.
Ah, so he's dead then.
He is
Good.
good. Oh, from what I read, he was quite successful. Raised a family, a pillar of the community.
Aren't they always the pillars of the community?
See, here's the thing. He had 2 children that were older than me and one that was younger than me. Did Mum have an affair at 18 with a married man?
No, she did not. Don't you ever say that about your mom.
Well,
I'm only telling you this because you already know a bit of the story. Forgive me, Lily. You have to understand how difficult it was for a woman in the 50s. Few choices and many expectations. It was like the Dark Ages. Our mother taught us to call our woman parts our shame. Can you imagine? Well, there's no easy way to say this, so I'm just going to put it on the table. When your mother was studying literature at university, oh God, how she loved her books, didn't she?
she did.
He was her professor, taught the romantics. He asked her to help him mark some papers for him, locked the office door and... Oh God, Michael, I'm so sorry. The bastard raped your mum.
Raped. Raped? Jesus. Did he go to jail?
It was the 50s. Women's virginity was so damn important that men had the freedom to prowl around like dogs in heat.
Male dogs don't go into heat. They're perpetually ready.
He did not go to jail. She didn't tell our parents when it happened, and by the time she realized she was pregnant, it was quite far along. They were furious, thought she'd made the whole thing up to protect Anthony, told her she'd brought disgrace to the family, and sent her away to St. Anne's Home for Unwed Mothers. They forbade her from ever seeing Anthony again.
My dad.
Your dad, your father, the man who loved you and raised you as his own, knowing the whole time that you weren't. I don't think I've ever had as much respect for any other man. So they told everyone else, oh, isn't Lily lucky spending the summer at Aunt Marge's in the country?
Oh, God, that must have been horrible for her.
They abandoned her to that dreadful place and expected her to return in autumn without a baby, as if it had never happened.
That explains why I only met them a few times.
She didn't bring you to meet your grandparents until you were 7 or 8. Do you remember?
Vaguely. I remember the clock on the mantel. It scared the hell out of me.
It's like having Big Ben in your living room. You know, in a strange way, I'm relieved to get all this off my chest. Oh, they could have made your mom's story into a film. She was so brave. There was a lot of undeserving shame attached to unwed mothers, no matter how they got pregnant. Then broken relationships with parents and friends, destroyed romances, dreams in ashes. Dreams in ashes. It was like a prison. Your mother was scrubbing floors and cleaning toilets with little food and sleep. Because these women were considered unsuitable parents, often the babies were adopted out right away, whisked away, before mothers had a chance to see them. When you were born, the nuns pushed a page for your mother to sign you away. They wouldn't let her see you until you would sign. So she signed. No one bothered to check. She signed Peter Pan. She was to take care of you until you were 6 weeks old. That's the way it was done at St. Anne's. Lily and I were sending letters back and forth. That's how we made a plan. When you were 5 weeks old, I came to visit her. I had a big wicker basket filled with things for both of you. We had a nice visit. And no one was looking. I put you in the basket, covered you with clothes, and walked out the front door. I was so afraid I'd be caught, but you didn't make a beep. I hurried around the back where your dad was waiting on his motorbike, your real dad. Soon, your mother appeared through a gap in the fence. They cried in each other's arms for so long, I had to remind them to get a move on. So Lily got in the sidecar, and I handed her the wicker basket that I had filled with clothes and as much money as I could get together, some bread and cheese, and a beautiful baby boy. And I cried as they drove away, straight toward London. I cried because I was so happy for them, and because I was so sad, because your mum was my best friend, and I knew I wouldn't see her again for a long time. Eventually, they got married and had a beautiful life together. Your mum, your dad, and you.
That's incredible, really. But why wouldn't she tell me?
Well, I assume she didn't want you to know that your biological father is
a rapist. I'm Phoebe.
Yes.
What if I inherited things from my biological father?
DNA is not the only thing that will shape you. When it comes to nature versus nurture, nurture has emerged the victor. Your mum and dad couldn't have loved you more. Don't doubt, not for 1 second, that you were the best thing that ever happened to them. Understand?
Yes, I do.
Now, I was going to put the kettle on again, but how about a nice brandy instead?
Oh God, yes. Thank you.
My sister told me not to tell anyone.
I didn't want anyone to know.
Everybody knew but me.
I wish I didn't know.
Heart emoji.
She says, in an offhanded way, "Love, I didn't tell you because I didn't know."
They always know.
It would have been too difficult for her.
She probably didn't know which one.
She was probably drunk.
They told me before I got the results.
Mom,
I don't want to talk about it.
you don't want to talk about it? I just found out that my dad is not my biological father, and you don't want to talk about it. Are you kidding me?
I said I do not wish to have this conversation with you.
Well, who do you wish to have this conversation with?
Okay, don't be an idiot. Those tests aren't accurate. They mix them up all the time, like babies at the hospital.
You can't claim switch babies, Mom. I matched up with Aunt Doreen.
I wasn't inferring that
You know what I'm going to ask next, right?
What's for dinner?
What happened? An affair? Boss? What?
What are you talking about?
Look, Mom, I will not judge you. I just want to know who my father is.
I'm getting one of my headaches.
Mom.
Why are you doing this to me?
Mom!
Oh, you're just trying to hurt me. You're always trying to hurt me. When did you become such a cruel person, huh? Now, if you don't mind, I'm going to tend to supper before it's ruined too. Oh, and you know my heart's not good.
Oh. I do know your heart isn't good.
What did you say to her?
You've got to put her in whatever moods.
I was just trying to talk to her, but you know Mom.
No, you've got everyone in some crazy emotional turmoil. Why can't you just leave things alone, just like I've been saying?
What about truth?
Oh, truth is overrated.
It's Thanksgiving, Kate. You're gonna give Mom a heart attack.
I think you actually need one to have one.
Oh, Kate, let it go. You're being so selfish.
Pretty damn selfish.
Selfish. I think I have a right to know who my father is.
Honestly, Kate, your father is the guy who died of lung cancer 3 years
You
ago.
know what I mean. You know, I never have really felt like I belonged. I always felt different.
You were different.
Maybe you don't really belong. Not really. I win!
Isn't it ironic? Dad always loved her best.
Did he?
Yes, and he wasn't even her father.
He was my father.
Are you still on about it?
Mom,
Look, Kate, this DNA thing is a hoax. Am I right?
Yep, you got it right.
It doesn't work. It's a scam, a collaboration. The DNA people make a lot of money off of people like you. Gullible. Oh, and another thing. The government is using it to keep tabs on people through their DNA.
how can the government keep tabs on people through their DNA if DNA is a hoax and doesn't work, huh?
You two, go and stir the gravy.
Does it take two people to
Now! Look, Kate, I have had about enough of this.
Mom, I just want to know. Look, I forgive you for whatever happened. I won't judge. I think it's my right to know.
You're right. You're right? What about my right to tell or not? Ask me now, and then never talk to me about it again.
Did you have an affair?
No, I did not have an affair.
Were you raped?
No, I wasn't.
Attend a party with Dad where all the guests threw their keys in a basket?
Oh, for God's sake, Kate, I don't understand why it's so important to know.
Mom, I need to know who I am.
You're my daughter, isn't that enough?
The truth will set you free.
God's sake, Kate. Fine, I'll tell you what happened.
Fine.
Fine! Long ago, your father was out of town again. I was minding my own business, sleeping, when suddenly I saw a bright light coming through my window.
What?
Suddenly, standing at the foot of my bed were two aliens. One was tall and thin, the other was short and fat. One of them is your mother, father.
For God's sake, Mom. So who's my daddy, Mom? Abbott or Costello?
What have I done to deserve this? From you, of all people.
Mom.
I'd like you to leave. There's no reasoning with you. I don't need this kind of emotional blackmail in my life.
Mom.
You're going to hell.
Well, then I guess I'll see you there.
What the hell is wrong with you? Look what you've done now.
I told you this would happen, didn't I?
Why can't you just keep this to herself?
Yeah, why don't you just keep it to yourself? You don't need to be a part of your little theatrics.
You are tearing this family apart.
Do you realize how selfish you are?
Just get over it, Kate. Let it go.
I can't.
I'm done.
What about Christmas?
No, I am done!
Look, about Christmas, we've all been talking, and we don't think it's a good idea that you come home for Christmas. Not this year, anyway. Mom's really upset. Why can't you just get over it? She was really young.
Men do take advantage.
I think it was more likely the other way around.
Who do you think your fathers were?
Some architect.
I think it was some guy at work.
Wasn't shocked. Not really. I mean, I don't think this would surprise anyone. My mum, well, she's got a bit of a reputation, you know? It's just the lies.
All those lies stacked up, one on another on another. But like Jenga, you pull one lie out and the rest come tumbling down.
I'm not really surprised. My mother lies about everything. I don't even know if it's worth having another conversation with her.
Second nature with my mother. She lied about everything, even when she didn't have to. It just came naturally.
I think my mum was protecting me.
Me too.
It's not so much the affair, or even the DNA surprise, but that the lies just kept continuing, even after the truth came out, throughout the denials and the accusations, and all the people that those lies made her accomplices.
The thing to do if you want to keep a secret is hide it from yourself.
knew it started with a P. He's alive. How lovely.
You seem surprised.
I am. He may have been a little unconventional.
Unconventional, Mom? I saw his photo. The guy looks like an old hillbilly, or an old biker, or an old hillbilly biker.
Rimfire was the culmination of your mother's wild summer.
No, I am the culmination of Mom's wild summer.
Love, don't make me bring up Greta, the Swedish wrestler from Stockholm, and her
All right, fair enough.
No, I'm in the room. I don't know what you were thinking. That man's my biological father, and I don't think he has all of his teeth. You, Dad, how can you be so blasé about all of this? Doesn't this bother you?
Bother me? Hell no. No, I've always known. Your mother and I hold no secrets. No, I'm grateful to him because he gave us you. There's been one moment that I've regretted. And anyway, we didn't know back then that I wasn't able to have children.
Well, he didn't have any more kids. He's kind of over the moon about me, you know? It's a little bit overwhelming. Mom, would it bother you if I went to see him, Dad?
Not at all. You are a part of him, and you deserve to know him and not part of you.
Dad?
Oh, how could it bother me? There's someone out there who loves my daughter. In the immortal words of P.B. Shelley, all love is sweet, both given and returned. As common as light is love, and its familiar voice wearies never.
Honestly, I cannot believe that I'm related to him. Line. I emailed him. He emailed me back. He sent me photos of himself, and there's people in those photos that apparently are related to me, but they're so unfamiliar. But somehow I'm a part of them, and it's kind of freaking me out.
Oh, honey, don't worry about it. I mean, life works out the way it's supposed to. There's no point in getting all anxious. So, have you spoken to him on the phone?
Twice. His accent is so, I mean, I can't understand him. Dad is this amazing and well-respected high school literature teacher, you know, refined and educated. And then there's this guy.
He might be a lot more than you think he is.
Tell her the story, it'll help.
It was my wild summer. I was at a party, and I didn't know any of the people there, but my friend Annie knew a few of the people from work. So as I was leaving the washroom, this nice-looking man in a suit stopped me in the hall. As handsome as he was, his eyes were too intense, but empty. Well, he started chatting me up, and before I knew it, he was dragging me into a bedroom. He threw me on the bed, and he stood between me and the door, and he was already unbuckling his belt, smiling. I was terrified. And then he put his hand over my mouth to stop me from screaming. And just when I thought it was hopeless, this dangerous-looking biker opened the door and assessed the situation. I mean, I honestly thought he would just close the door and leave, but he didn't. He grabbed him by the shirt and tossed him off the bed, said, "You okay, darling?" offered me his hand, and got me the hell out of there.
And that, love, is your biological father.
Wow, I didn't know. Well, I mean, he seems nice enough, and he's interested to know me. He asked me to fly to Arkansas for my birthday to meet the family. I wasn't going to go. I didn't really want to meet him, but now, maybe spend my 36th birthday with a bunch of people I don't know, but apparently I'm related to.
Don't pass up this opportunity, love. It may never come again. And besides, I think he will surprise you.
You must have found him for a reason.
Yeah, I'll see. I'm off.
Good night, love. Night. Safe home.
Sweet dreams when you get there, honey.
That went better than I'd hoped.
Yes. Yes, it did.
Everything all right?
Oh, everything's peachy.
You saying everything is peachy is like a woman saying everything is fine.
No, it's all right. It's just me being paranoid.
Ah, love. Are you afraid she won't love you the same way?
No. I don't want to lose her, too.
Alan, love of my life, you have been a wonderful partner, the kindest friend, amazing lover. You fell in love with me when another man's baby was in my belly, without judgment. You were with me when she was born. You changed her diapers, taught her how to ride a bike. You were the one who chased away that awful boyfriend she had in high school. You were there at her graduation, and you walked her down the aisle. You held her when she cried, kissed great knees, laughed with her, talked with her, heard her. You loved her perfectly. Alan, you are her father, and she knows that. And there is no one in this entire universe who could ever replace you.
I can't sleep. I'm not eating properly. I saw his photo. I look like him. Fuck, I look like him. Every day, every time she looked at me, did she think of him? Did she remember what he did to her? Was my face a reminder of this terrible thing that happened in her life? Rape. And if so, how did she endure that? And the secrets. Did she remember him every time she looked into my eyes? Did she resent me? Hate me for looking like him? Oh God, oh, you're being an ass. Oh, you're gonna make yourself crazy. No, never did I feel anything from my mom. But love. Oh God, I wish I'd never done that fucking test. I want to go back. I don't want to know what I know. I look in the mirror and I wonder, what parts of me belong to a rapist? These hands that touch so many. I read a journal somewhere that said that a woman, whatever's going through a woman's mind at the point of conception, affects the child. Man, what could she possibly have been thinking at that moment? I was conceived of pain and terror, not love. And what of the dark thoughts I have in my mind? Did they come from him? Do all men have these thoughts? I've never acted on them. I mean, I've always thought of them as just little kinky amusings or sort of adventurous fantasies, but are they? Is evil passed from a father to son genetically? And if so, what about those dark, broody thoughts that fester in a man's mind? Manipulation, cruelty, sadistic inclinations. Are they part of your genetic makeup? Or are they learned behaviors? And if not, what if it skips a generation? What if I'm okay, but my son is not? What if he has the same urges and the same... Oh God, stop saying these things. No, Harry is not that man. Jesus, I'm losing my fucking mind.
I'm on the phone. Clearly I'm on the phone. It's my father. My biological father. This is the first time I've ever spoken to him. He's had to stop to take another call. Sounds all right. Maybe. Oh, no, yeah. DNA test. Well, I matched your son Jason as a half brother. Ruthie Davies. She met you at the pub. Mum! Stop it. Stop it. No. Pack it in. Pack it in. Sorry about that. Got a crazy cat. I would too. Well, yeah, I'm in Leeds. Yeah, no, that's easy enough. It's just off the 628. Yeah. Toby Carberry, Thursday, 3 o'clock. Me too. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. All right, yeah. See you then. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye. What the hell are you doing?
Nothing.
Nothing.
I just wanted to talk to him, that's all. After all, it's been... How old are you again?
26 next month.
27 years.
Jesus, Mum!
So, did he remember me? Oh, of course he remembered me. I knew he'd remember me. Who could forget that night in the bar?
Ah, God!
Don't be such a baby. I got you here, didn't I?
This was a side of Ruthie, my mother, that I didn't know. But apparently, many other men did. When I told her I'd found my biological father on Ancestry, she said,
he was very good at...
She also told me a lot more stuff I really didn't want to know. All the way up to today, Thursday, the Thursday, she couldn't stop talking about him. How handsome he was. How he fell in love with her over a dark game at a university pub. He was taking architecture. She was taking drama. Anyway, it was the day. The Thursday. So where are you off to? You got a hot day?
I'm going with you.
Oh, no, you're not.
Oh, yes, I am.
Mum, I just want to do this on my own. Can you just give me this?
Fine. That's just fine.
Okay.
I'll just stay here. Don't worry about me. It's only been 29 years.
27, actually.
I meant to say 27.
Sure.
It's only been 27 years since I've seen the love of my life.
The love of your life? Are you kidding? You knew him for 2 minutes and then one pregnant with me.
You don't understand. There's a spiritual connection you make with a man when you produce a child together. It never goes away. You may have half his DNA, but when a man ejaculates...
Oh, stop! Mom! God's sake! Oh. Fine. You can tag along.
Thank you, love.
You better be fucking good.
Oh, I'll be
Oh, Mom!
Just teasing.
What could possibly go wrong?
I know you're here. I can smell your perfume. Lily of the valley, food fresh. Smells like death.
This is ridiculous.
Come on, you can do this, Helen. Fine, I'll talk to you, because in truth, there's no one else. You made sure of that, didn't you, Mom? Let's start with how fucking angry I am at you. So, when my dad left when I was 3 and basically disappeared from my life except for a few months of short visits every few weeks, you made sure I knew it was all my fault. He never wanted children. You were an accident, a broken condom. He wasn't ready to be a father. You were a poster child for the terrible twos. You made sure my childhood was haunted by an overwhelming sense of guilt. My entire life, I have questioned if I even had the right to be here. You made sure his family had no contact with me. You moved us across the country to get away from your own family. Actually, I can't really blame you for that. But there's the tree looming in the background, and the apple falls not far from it, rotten, riddled with worms. I never had children. I didn't want to be like you. So, it was just the two of us, and the boyfriend of the month. We lived with 7 of them, 7 of your lovers. Men I didn't want to know. Men who didn't want to know me. 2 who wanted to know me in a very wrong way. You always believed them. You chose men over me every time. Oh, but not before you. You always came first. And you were surprised when I left home at 16 and a half. You never saw me. You never knew me. You weren't interested in knowing me. But you didn't waste a moment letting me know that it was all me, that it was all my fault. The extreme punishments, the constant emotional abuse, demoralizing insults, all my fault. You have no idea how much I want to hate you right now. But if I learned anything from you, Mom, it's what hate does to a person. How Someone beautiful can become ugly through lies and deceit and hate. I had this idea that maybe, just maybe, if I could find my father, I'd... Finding him turned out to be impossible. Williams is a very common last name. So, I ordered a DNA test. I don't know what I was thinking. He'd be so old by now. Did the test anyway. But you died before DNA testing was a thing. Well, it's a thing. And you know what I found out, Mom? Carl is not my biological father. But I'm guessing you already knew that, didn't you? Of course. How could you play the martyr if you had admitted to that, huh? So I'm going to find him. I'm going to find my biological father. And there's a part of me that's so relieved you can't interfere from where you are now. Can you?
Willow? Are you all right?
Yeah, Mom, I'm fine. Just, I miss you. Both of you.
Tell us everything. Don't leave any of it out.
Let's start with what an ass I am. I was too embarrassed to have him pick me up at the airport. I told myself it was because I wasn't dressed to ride on the back of a Harley Davidson. But that wasn't it. Well, it turns out he drives a Kia Soul. Anyway, so I get to the address that he gave me, and it was this bar that he frequents for line dancing, and I'm thinking to myself, fuck me, line dancing. I'm allergic to country music. Looked like a movie set. Saloon, that would be a better word. I mean, I was half expecting to see a spittoon just inside the swinging doors. There weren't actually swinging doors. It was this close. But anyway, I watched the cab kick up dust as it drove away, and in that moment, I just felt so alone. I regretted coming. I regretted getting in contact with them. I regretted doing the DNA test in the first place.
Regrets are born of past never taken.
Must be a poet. Byron.
No,
Hemingway.
no. Actually, Michael Dell, American billionaire.
Ah.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's something that I know now, better than most. So I'm standing outside still, I don't know, 5 minutes, maybe just 30 seconds, and I'm trying desperately to make my knees stop shaking. And really all I want to do is just run. I take a deep breath, and I walk in. And inside, I stop right in my tracks. The place is filled with people, all kinds of people, and they're smiling at me. There are balloons everywhere. And then this guy walks up to me. This guy I don't know, this stranger. He walks up to me and he hugs me. And he says, "Happy birthday, darling. I'm so proud to be your dad." I don't know why. I just started to cry and hold on to this man. And I felt it. Love. Felt a connection. So weird and strange and fucked up, and it felt so natural. So then the room erupts singing happy birthday so badly. And then there's a rush of people. I'm your first cousin. I'm your Aunt Grace. I'm your second cousin once removed. You look like my Aunt Flo. She's an airline stewardess, don't you know? I'm your grandmother. But but you can call me Mima. I've never had a grandmother before. That's so sweet. Isn't that sweet?
Yes, it is.
So then Paul, my biological father, your rescuer, this man who you loved for 2 weeks in the 80s, he takes my hand and he leads me to a table of presents, all kinds of presents, and 36 of the presents were from him. He says to me, "Darlene, I got you a gift for every birthday I miss." And he did. There were dolls and teddy bears and roller skates, you know, things for a kid of that age. And there was cards with every gift that said, you know, for my daughter on her 7th birthday. And each card had a sweet message. It was just so sweet, so incredibly sweet. So I cried, and he cried, and it was so unexpected. All these people, all these newly found family members just made me feel loved and wanted.
I'm so thrilled for you. It's beautiful. Couldn't be more beautiful, could it?
No, I don't think so, Mom. All these people were touching my hair and smiling and hugging me. It was the first time in my life that I felt so much love coming from people that weren't you. But it was amazing, and they were there, and I felt home, like a second home, you know?
Thrilled for you, honey. I'm going to go make some tea.
You okay, Dad?
No, I'm fine.
I don't want you to worry, Dad. You are and have always been the best father ever. No one could ever replace my dad. I don't want you to be afraid.
No, I'm not afraid. Okay, a little bit. No, it's just hard. I mean, this man rises from the ashes, and he loves you too.
It's not the same. He's a nice guy, a little quirky. But he's not you. He's not my dad.
I couldn't love you more if I'd given birth to you myself. I have loved being your dad. I have loved watching you grow into this beautiful woman you are. Even before you were born, you have always been my daughter.
I know.
What could possibly go wrong, indeed? Well, first off, the bloody drive. Took us 27 minutes to get to the restaurant. It's about halfway between our cities. It felt like 3 days. She talked non-stop the entire way there. Cherry this and cherry that. Her hem was too high, her neckline too low. Recipe for disaster. I mean, you have to understand my parents. Well, my mum and then the dad that raised me until I was 10. They were a terrible couple. I never saw them being affectionate, not once. And after my dad left to start his new family, my mum, well, she had many dates. We met in a restaurant. It started out okay. But then my mum started this really goofy flirting. I mean, it's embarrassing. He's still married to the same woman that he was when they had their little fling. I'm the product of a fling. The fling boy. Syracuse, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe you do take after me.
Oh, it's a little bit different than you taking after me, huh?
Yeah, it was built in 1932 by Melvin O'Keefe and Blaine Lyman.
What was your first job after uni?
I forgot how sparkling your eyes were.
Actually, I went to grad school at Bartlett School of Architecture in London.
How soon after that did you start your own company?
Oh, it was just some little place in Soho. Well, you sure do ask a lot of questions.
It's been a while.
Look how handsome our son is. Just like his father.
Always a flatterer.
Excuse me, I'm off to the loo. It was humiliating. I felt like the third wheel. Why do I always fall for a drama? My mum's smart, beautiful, charming, self-indulgent, like a bucking child. If Mummy wants something, Mummy gets it, including Jerry. All I did was go to the loo, and that takes what, 2 minutes? When I got back to the table, they weren't there. I had no idea where they'd gone. So I waited.
Here you go. Your parents seem to be in a hurry to leave. It wasn't the chicken, was it?
They're not my parents. What did they left?
Well, they went running out to your... Oh dear.
Oh my God!
I think you want to be having the suspension on that van checked.
I think I want to sell that van.
Don't be embarrassed by your folks. After all, it's a natural thing.
Although they are technically my parents, this is the first time I've ever met him.
Really? How did you...
DNA test.
Ah, DNA testing. So, here's why I would never have that done. My story. Well, not really my story, it's my cousin Winnie's story. She's a hairdresser in South London, Peckham to be exact. But she wanted to find out about her Irish history on her father's side, my father's brother. Her mother was British. So, she had the test done, came back, no Irish, none. But 45% German Austrian around that area. Well, she was gutted because she realized in that moment that her father was not her biological father. Well, and then technically, she's not my cousin anymore, except she still is, you know.
Right.
Well, so, a few weeks passed, and she matches up with 43 half-siblings. 43!
How's that impossible?
Right? Oh, she thought there was a mistake or a mix-up of some sort. She's been doing genealogy for years. She knows her way around this stuff. Turns out, this Dr. Wiesner and his wife opened a fertility clinic in London in the 40s to, you know, help women get pregnant. Turns out that the doctor, out of the goodness of his heart, was himself the, donor for nearly half of these unsuspecting ladies. It seems 600 babies were conceived using his sperm from the good doctor himself. 600! Oh, well, it was illegal back then, but it wasn't illegal back then, but it certainly is now.
That's insane.
Oh, I know. Oh, and it turns out the doctor was from Austria.
She could have slept with her half-brother.
Oh, she nearly did. She recognized the name from her half-sibling matches. So she checked it out, and turns out this fellow she'd been on 2 dates with, but hadn't slept with on account of his socks.
Ooh, wait, socks?
Yeah, his socks. You see, he was wearing, his pants were too short, and he was wearing white socks both times. Winnie's funny like that.
dodged that bullet, didn't she?
Oh, she did indeed. But I wouldn't want to do it. My dad's okay as far as dads go, but I wouldn't want to risk it. There's some cans of worms you don't open.
No, but if you've already opened it, you may as well grab your rod and go fishing.
I'll leave you to it then. Nice chatting with you.
You too. Thank you.
Oh! Geez, I really, sorry I gotta go. I've got an appointment I can't be late for. We'll do this again. Soon, very soon.
I have to go fix my lipstick.
She giggled like a schoolgirl all the way home. It was disgusting. But there are other stories beside ours.
So many other stories.
Too many other stories.
So two women, both 72, both born on the same day in the same hospital. One, a redhead in the sea of blonde babies. So one of the women, they get their DNA tested, and they don't match to anyone in their family, but their niece matches to an aunt. An aunt she doesn't know.
Switched at birth.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awful.
Well, it is, but they both had good upbringings, and now the families celebrate together.
I love the one about the adopted woman who did a DNA test to find her biological mother. Well, she found her mother, who was thrilled to connect. Turns out her mother is an actress, and she was on a television show that was one of the daughter's favorite throughout her childhood. Ironically, the show was called That's My Mama.
Oh, that's unbelievable.
Some historians tested the Y chromosome of Hitler's descendants' DNA. They discovered the obvious German heritage. Seems Hitler's heritage also included Greek, Sicilian, and North African. They even found traces of Jewish Ashkenazi.
Oh, so much for the Übermensch. Übermensch was Nietzsche's idea of the goal for humanity. Racial purity. Beyond man. Superman. Uberman or superhuman.
I was reading about white supremacists doing DNA tests to prove how white they are. The thing is, many of them have been surprised by their cultural heritage. Craig Cobb, one of the big boys in the white boys club, he was on some talk show. They did a DNA test on him. Turns out, he is 14% sub-Saharan African.
I bet that got his star-spangled panties in a twist.
The Golden State Killer was caught because one of his family members did a DNA test.
Good.
Two sisters did 23andMe. They couldn't find any trace of their Italian father's side. And then one day, an unknown uncle pops up. Apparently, he's been looking for his younger brother since he was 6, and the little brother was 4. His brother turned out to be their father. Now, this uncle, who's now 70, told them that when they were children on a street in New York City, some woman offered them candy, and the brother went with the lady to get the candy, and they never saw him again. Unfortunately, he died a few years before, never knowing the truth.
Did you read the post about the woman who got her tubes tied because she was afraid she inherited the disease her dad had? So she never had kids, and then at 55, she finds out he wasn't her father, and there's no way that she could have inherited the disease.
And no one ever told her.
Oh, what a mess.
Oh, it's crazy. Crazy time. Women sleeping with their husband's best friends.
Drunken one-night stands.
Employers intimidating their employees to have sex with them, or employees seducing their bosses.
Rape.
Wild summers.
Adoptions, lost loves, smashed secrets. This thing cuts a swath through our lives, leaving a trail of broken people in its wake.
Refugees from war-torn countries, immigrant children in cages, indigenous people, us. We're all just looking for our past, our culture, our families. We're all just looking for love.
This is where it's too much for people to deal with.
There's no playbook.
Oh, it's like the word the next hashtag thing, you know, only nobody knows about it.
Out of sight.
Hidden.
Invisible.
Someone's dirty secret. In an attempt to contact my biological father, I decided to reach out to his daughter, Kelly, my half-sister from another mother. I found her on Facebook. She was so excited. We talked on Messenger.
This is so amazing. I always wanted a big sister.
Crazy, isn't it?
So what are you gonna tell my dad? I mean her dad. I mean our dad.
I haven't heard from you in weeks. Is everything all right?
Oh yeah, fine. Just been a bit busy, you know.
Yes, I know. Wishing you and your family the happiest things Christmas brings.
Thanks. You too.
So, I haven't heard from you. I'm guessing plans for meeting this summer are off?
Yeah, sorry. I've just gotten a bit busy. My dad had a small heart attack, but he's okay now.
My dad. 3 months later, nothing. I would check Facebook to make sure she was okay. Pictures of her and her family. I didn't feel I had any claim over them. I had to see them. Her at the family reunion where I was supposed to meet everyone. 2 aunts, 1 uncle, 5 cousins, and her. It's like watching a movie of someone else's life.
Sorry. I'm having a little trouble with this. I think I'm still in shock. I just need a little bit of time.
I wanted to be patient. It was a shock. I understand. You have no idea how intimately I understand shock. I wanted to give you time. I left the ball in your court. But I was at the ready, you see. Racket in hand, hopping back and forth, spinning the racket like a pro. I was waiting for you to serve the ball. You looked up, stared, bounced the ball once. Look up again, bounce the ball again. I don't know if I heard you sigh, or it was the rustling of the leaves still clinging to the branches of the trees in the midst of winter. You turned away, carefully packed all of your gear in your sports bag. The sound of a zipper closing. And then without a glance backward, you walked off the court, leaving me, waiting.
Sorry.
Why do you think they call it love? One theory is that the term is a corruption of the word egg in French, l'œuf, because the egg is the shape of a 0. The more romantic among us would say that love for the game is the only thing keeping a scoreless player on the court. She blocked me on Facebook. It's after a while, I decided to reach out to my biological father without her help. He really was quite sweet. A few messages, 1 phone call, and he disappeared. I don't know if it was his wife who wasn't thrilled about the whole thing, or if Kelly felt threatened, and either way, I got this letter from a lawyer. This letter has been served as notice of your recent acts of unwarranted harassment. You are required to cease and desist all acts of harassment, including, but not limited to, your newfound family. Your actions are unwanted and unwarranted. This cease and desist letter shall serve as a pre-suit letter requesting that you provide written assurance within 7 days that you will discontinue further actions and attempt no further contact with anyone in the immediate and extended family. I miss my dad.
In a sidecar.
A sidecar. A bit like Moses.
No wonder you've always been into motorbikes.
Amazing story, isn't it?
Well, yes, but to the fact that my biological grandfather is an arsehole. A rapist. It's pretty fucking disturbing.
It's consuming me. I can't help thinking.
Don't go there, Dad. What is it you said that Aunt Phoebe always said about nature versus nurture?
Yes, but does nurture really emerge the victor here? Can we ever really know? I mean, the sins of the father. What if I am like him? What if I'm like him in ways that I'm not even aware of? And if I am, what if you are?
Come on, Dad, you're being dramatic.
Am I? Are you okay?
Yes, fine. It's all a bit of a shock.
No, I mean, are you okay with women? I've never really had this conversation with you. Sex is more than desire for men. Men seek power from sex, and clearly they'll often take it. That's why we see so many men in power being caught with their pants down. Priests, politicians, athletes, celebrities, professors. I just want to know that, treat women.
Dad. I love you for worrying. I learned everything from how you treat Mom. And you learned from Granddad, not the man that happens to be the monster that happens to be and share some of your DNA. Granddad was an amazing man. He treated Granny like she was gold, and of course, she was. You've been a wonderful father. And a great husband to Mom. I learned from both of you how to respect women.
No violence.
Of course not. Never raised a hand, intimidated, bullied. Aside from you and Granddad, I was surrounded by some pretty amazing women. Mum, Aunt Phoebe, Granny. I like to think I'm quite a bit like Granddad. We both like fishing, Scrabble. Dad, I know you're afraid, but please stop making yourself crazy.
But what about these dark thoughts that fester inside a man? The
No,
fantasies.
they are just that. Fantasies, dreams, imaginings.
Let's hope that's it. Fancy another pint?
God, yes.
Crazy, isn't it? We're sort of in the same boat.
And it's taking on water.
Oh, it's not just taking on water. It's sinking. And all the rats have deserted the ship.
Yesterday, the DNA group on Facebook went over 8,000.
8,000. Wow, that's a lot of people with the DNA surprise.
Mm-hmm.
And imagine, we live within a 10-minute drive of each other.
What are the odds?
You know, it's a real treat getting together with someone who gets it. Here's to proximity and many more get-togethers. So, how is your search going?
Well, I had a little chat with Mummy last week.
Wow, how long's it been?
Years. She died in '82. You know, actually, it was extremely cathartic. I said things I'd been holding in since I was a kid. I must have sounded like a lunatic. I hope there weren't any open windows.
Why do you think you never confronted her?
Oh, what was the point? I'm pretty sure she was a narcissist.
Oh, my mother is a complete narcissist. Oh, and a pirate.
So you know.
Oh, yeah.
She would never admit when she was wrong.
Or take any responsibility for anything.
Right. And her idea of history.
Completely crazy. And zero empathy.
Oh, none. I always felt like her property. You know, the couch, the TV, the kid.
Well, lucky you were an only child. My mother, she would pit us together. And because there were 3 of us, one person was inevitably left out, usually me. Well, and then the silent treatment, when you wouldn't do exactly what she wanted.
Yeah, mine would ignore me. She once went 17 days without saying a word to me. I was 12.
12? What could you have done at 12 to deserve that?
I made the mistake of correcting her lie in front of a friend.
Oh, no, you cannot do that.
I learned. You know, people thought my mother was wonderful. Do you get that? I know your mom. She's amazing.
Oh my God, all the time. Oh, except for people in the service industry. Yeah. But people in the PTA and Toastmasters, book clubs, I mean, they think she is a saint. But all we get? Corruption, deception, cruelty, manipulation, and the lies. Oh my God, the lies.
How does someone keep track of all those lies?
I have no idea. Oh, and then there's the never-ending guilt trips.
Hey, guilt trips were the only vacation I had. But my mom went on the ego trips all by herself.
2 guilt trips.
Oh. So, I found my biological father. Yep. He died years ago. I found his obituary.
Oh God, I'm sorry. Have you talked to anyone else in the family?
A cousin.
A cousin. That's what they tell you. Connect with a cousin because they're interested but not too invested. A cousin. Many people have used a cousin to create a bridge to the new family.
Well, that's how I found him, a cousin. She wasn't very chatty. No. She led me to the obituary, gave me some medical information, and asked me not to contact her again. Apparently, I have a half-sister somewhere. The cousin wouldn't give you that information. And there was a half-brother, died when he was in his 20s. How do you grieve a half-brother that you never knew? There are some days I can handle it. I get that it was a different time, and women had fewer choices. But there are some days I just don't want to get out of bed. I have no one to talk to. I'm alone. I don't know where I belong, and I wonder, what the hell am I doing here?
Maybe we could be alone in this together.
Maybe we can.
You know, I really believe that in spite of its messiness and its complications and this strange journey that our paths have taken, that you are absolutely meant to be here. You know, in certain philosophies, they believe that you choose your parents, not some jury of people judging your past lives, but you choose your parents based on what's the best for you. You know, kind of like a learning experience for the soul.
Why would anyone choose bad parents or ridiculously impossible situations?
I suppose the idea then is to grow spiritually, to right wrongs and become stronger. God, I must have been a bitch in my past life. Mothers. You know, there's something about mothers. When your mother abandons you, it's as if the whole world has abandoned you.
Yeah. Now, tell me your story.
We're gonna need another drink.
Oh, okay.
Didn't even call me on my birthday. And then I received a text message from his phone, from his wife. Please leave Jerry and our family alone. You have your own family. We don't need our family to be any more complicated than it already is. I didn't reply. What could I say? After that, he changed his number or he blocked mine. Doesn't matter. I got the message.
I thought, at least I could count on my friends. So I invited Allie and Justin over so that we could make some Christmas plans, because apparently I'm not welcome at my family's. Obviously, well, they were sitting here minutes ago, but obviously they didn't notice me standing in the doorway, because they were going on and on about how annoying I'd become. How did Justin put it? She's going on and on, not her, doing that over and over, like about that DNA surprise again. And then Allie, who I've known for 18 years, who I've sat with for countless hours when her husband left her, she says, oh, I just can't handle it anymore. It's like she acts as if it's the end of the fucking world. And then Justin and Allie agreed that it would be like torture to spend Christmas with me, going on and feeling sorry for myself. And then Allie tells Justin that she's been avoiding me, not answering my messages, pretending to be busy when she isn't. Well, that's when I cleared my throat. The look on their faces. Isn't that exactly what you said to me, Allie, when Steve left you? Kate, I don't know what to do. It's like it's the end of the fucking world. Finally, they get up to leave. And Allie, well, she stops at the doorway and she says, call me, Kate, when you return to your old self. My old self? Well, I'm never going to be that person again.
They seem in a hurry to leave.
Ah. Where are you going?
I'm so sorry, Kate.
Everyone seems to be sorry today.
I have really tried to be understanding. I have, but I can't do it anymore.
Can't do what anymore?
Look, I don't mean to drop this on you right now, but I need a break. Honestly, I need a break from you, from your drama. John says I can stay with him until I figure things out.
Figure what out?
Just things.
So you're leaving me. After 22 years, you're leaving me. Exactly when I need you to go. When I just find
me. God, Kate, can't you see how selfish you're being? I just can't do this right now. You know, you keep telling me that people don't know how you feel. Well, you're right. I don't. And clearly I'm not helping you. And all this drama is not helping me. I'm sorry, Kate. sorry about everything.
Where does love go when you lose it? I'm thinking of what she said to me. Mommy, dearest. How those vile words just came rolling off her tongue with such ease. I watched as she took a breath, as if relishing the moment before she took aim and fired. She meant to cut me. Deeply. I don't know why I expected anything other than poison from her. It's all that she's given me my entire life. I'm not going to cry. I will not cry. Because if I start, I don't know if I'll ever be able to stop. I am so sorry for whatever horrible things happened to you to make you such an unpleasant person.
She's just so goddamn selfish. I don't know where she gets it. It must be her father. She doesn't care who she hurts. It's all about her. All about her. The whining and the complaining. Oh, poor me. The world's done me wrong. Always blaming me. Well, it's not my fault. I gave her everything. Why couldn't we just let it go, Kate? Who's your daddy now, Kate?
Shut up! I can't let it go. It won't let me go. Every morning I wake up, and there are 20 seconds, 20 sacred seconds when I forget. And then like a tidal wave, it comes crashing over me.
I think about it at work. When I'm eating.
When I'm doing the dishes.
Every time I see a commercial about a father and a daughter.
Whenever I see a man with a beard on a motorcycle.
With every waking moment, all I can think of is that I've been lied to every single day of my life.
But does this change who we are? I mean, I look in the mirror and I see a mother. I see a father who raised me like I was his own, even though he knew. And I see this man that not in my wildest dreams could I ever imagine having a connection with, but I do. The connection is deep and beautiful. The connection is love.
I used to look in the mirror and I knew who I was. Now I'm not sure. She took that away from me. She drove my father away from me. Even meeting this man, this dude she had a scathing affair with, she had to bask in the light of his adoration. Did she ever think of me? Just once.
I stopped going on to the Ancestry site. I looked obsessively when I first uploaded my DNA. It was just so damn depressing. My closest match was a fourth cousin in Australia. I don't even know if I look like my father. He's a ghost. I don't belong anywhere.
You belong to us. Whatever us is. Heart emoji.
I look in the mirror and I pray to any God who will listen that I'm not like him. A man I don't know.
don't want to know. A rapist, a monster.
I don't really belong to this family, and I certainly don't belong to theirs. I know nothing about my family history, my culture. I have no identity. I'm like a tree without roots.
That's what we're all doing, isn't it? Shaking the trees. A message from Ancestry. I have a message.
Well,
It's from my half-sister. She wants to meet me.
Tears and fears and feeling proud to say I love you right out loud. Dreams and schemes and circus clouds, I've looked at life that way. But now old friends are acting strange. They shake their heads, they say I've changed. Well, something's lost, but something's gained in living every day. I've looked at life from both sides now, from win and lose, and still somehow it's life's illusion